What you?
Getting into it.
Getting into it.
Getting into it.
We getting into it.
Getting into it.
I'm getting into it.
We getting into it.
Getting
Getting into it.
Getting into it.
Getting into it.
I'm getting into it.
I'm getting into it.
We getting into it.
We getting into it.
Yeah, we about to get into it. We taking Thursday back. One Thursday at a time. It is cash at hand. And we are the Mix Squad. And we about to get into it. Tonight we gonna follow up with what we had already started last week, was a mix that we was mixing by Joria Wonder called Siren. And we actually just want to go ahead and get this mix to a point where we get to the mix bus process. And I'm gonna see, cause we gonna stick to the script, and in 2 hours we out of here. If you out there on Instagram and you see us live, go ahead and switch over to YouTube. It's just more consistent that YouTube will keep the live going. Sometimes Instagram will allow us to keep going. Sometimes they cut us off. Obviously, like, subscribe, comment, send us your music at the Mix Squad Inc. I'm sorry, Mix Squad Inc. at gmail.com. Go to the mixsquad.com for all Mix Squad related products, whether that's merch, whether that's mixing consultations, whether that is joining the squad, purchasing our courses, purchasing templates, purchasing whatever you need, audio, mixing, and music related. So y'all know the spiel. I'm not going to take too long here. I wish I was in better spirits. Not that anybody out there really care about my interest in my football team, but I'm not loving what the Bears did tonight with the 10th pick. I'm hoping that he's a Hall of Famer, but right now I am good on the NFL draft. So let's go ahead and share the screen and let's get into this mix. I'm going to play kind of where we left off from last week. Fix the screen first. Boom. All right, y'all. So I'm not going to rehash everything we did to get to this point. You might have to just kind of revisit the last live or wait till the cut up segments of the live video is posted on our page so you can kind of follow along with this mix. Because this is good if you're really, really trying to just get this mixing down. We started from the very, very beginning of the process, and you're able to watch live the entire process. Because I know you want to get clipped. You want to see things and get it right away in like a 5-minute little segment. The unfortunate truth of the craft is that a lot of the ideas, a lot of the decisions that are made on the mix do require to just re-listen, have the loop playing over and over and over as you adjust and make changes, because it's just simply a part of the decision-making process. Not every piece of audio do I immediately know, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I literally allow it to come to me as I listen. So let's take a listen to what we have so far. I still may be moving some things around because I know we were still getting things together. Cool. So that's the gist of it. I know there are certain vocals I did not get to, which is this folder called vocal effects, which we will get to at some point here at the end. All right, so we were doing a lot with the vocals. There's still some tweaking that I hear that I need to do with maybe some reverb, changing some volumes, kind of just moving the faders around to get the perfect balance, or what I would perceive as the perfect balance. But I'm gonna actually go back to this beat and kind of treat this, get this together. What I'm doing here is just taking all the elements of the beat, and then you see there's a lot of folders, and that's just because I like to collapse my session. I don't like to see all the tracks all the time. And so this is going to be the beat bus. And I'll just keep it separate colored than the rest of the buses. Make it a darker purple. Cool. And then now this needs to be connected to the mix bus. So we have all of our instruments being routed out to the beat folder. That's routed out to the mix bus. Cool. And so I am going to take a listen to this beat again from the meat of it. Now I'm looking for something real quick because I thought I made a aux called sub. I did. Okay, where are you? And I might be just not seeing it. I see that it's routed. This and dirty bass from the bass is routed to it, but I don't see the auxes though. And I might be tripping, but I really don't. Beat effects, maybe? There we go. So let me take this out of the beat effects so it don't confuse me. I'm gonna just put them in the beat bus. And I'm gonna actually have them go to the beat bus before it goes to the mix bus. So all of the music, no matter if it's a send or not, meets here at the beat. And then it's all together sent to the mix bus that's met with the vocals. Cool. So I have that. I'm probably going to use this sub aux again, route that from this kick. But I'm going to do some treatment on this kick real quick. I'm gonna bypass that. It's in solo, but just so you can hear it. I'm gonna bypass it, and then I'm gonna let you kind of hear what it's doing to the transient of the kick. It's kind of fattening it up by bringing more up, by technically tightening the compression. I'm gonna probably adjust the attack here on this a little bit, but other than that, pretty much good to go on the compression that I'm gonna use for the kick. right, so let's kind of run down through what was going on with this kick, because I know if you're not really knee deep into this mixing yet, a lot of what was going on could have got lost. So let's just go over it. All right, so starting with the EQ, I'm gonna solo it out because it's just a lot easier to hear it. A lot of music, just to hear what's going on. Not gonna be a gigantic difference once I bypass. So I had just identified about 100. Just a small dip there. It doesn't sound awful. Probably even hard to hear. But it is a little boxy-ish. Not even really like in the boxy area, but there is a muffle to that tone around 100 that I knew once I compressed some things, I didn't want to bring that particular band up as much. Or I didn't want it to be as loud once I started compressing. And then around here at 388. It's almost like a little click that can get annoying after a while. Again, my decisions on EQ here are based off of what I'm going to do later, which I know I'm going to compress and clip and add saturation. And I'm just trying to find frequencies that could be annoying once things get brought up louder. All right, and that was that. I didn't want to continue to fish too hard. It's a lot of elements in this mix. If this was more of a hip hop vibe and the kick was like secondary to the vocals, then I would really probably treat it like vocals as far as combing through frequencies, trying to find all the nuances of the kick that I may want to reduce, and because it's one of the stars of the music. In this, it's just a part of the percussion. The bass guitar is more of a star than the kick in this particular composition. So you want to be mindful when you're mixing on just the hierarchy of the instrument in that production. This production, this kick ain't what we would normally do with the kick in hip hop or kick driven music. All right, so let's move on to the next part, which was using this Dioid 609. It's a replica of a analog model compressor. Q put me on this one. I actually just like to use it to try to see if I can bring what people say the actual gear does to the low end when you use it. And it's just doing a little compression. Let's bypass it. Makes the transient come be a little bit more in your face. Cool, like that. Bypass. A little more chesty. All right, so then we move to the EQ using the Tech. I just really only adjusted the low end. I reduced the gain about 5 dBs, but boosted 60 about 5 dBs. So let's bypass. So it went from having that chest feel to now feeling like you hitting your chest. Like you actually, like I feel it more. So let's do it again. It's a little bit more heavy. And that's all. I just wanted it to be a little bit more heavy in this mix. It's kind of washed out. It's not really, it's kind of drowned out with the percussion and the bass guitar and the guitars and all of that. So I just wanted it to be a little thicker. Knock did a lot of the magic as far as getting the tone that I was looking for. Let's bypass. completely changed the entire sonic character of the kick, which is what I intended to do just because it was buried. So I added a lot of punch, which is just really adding a lot of the initial transient that I've now worked on having sound the way I want, with the deduction, with the compression to get it nice and tight, with the boost and the EQ. Now everything that I'm adding this additional punch to the transient to is everything that I've already listened to and I like. I didn't do anything with saturation, but since it was so thin, I chose to just take a look at what key this song was in, which it was in A, and decided to move this knob here to the key, which is exactly the 55 hertz, which is A1, and crank the sub up a lot on this. Pretty much all I did there. No air to it. I did about 3% of clipping because I know I'm about to actually do some clipping. I gain staged it where it automatically did it through here. And the most I may do from here is just change the wet dry if I think it's a little too heavy. Once I start moving on and getting throughout the mix, I may find that I overdid it. And that's okay, because I can blend the original sound back in until I'm satisfied. So I set myself up for being able to come back and make changes, knowing very well what changes I can make and how easy I can make those changes by just using this as my parameter of what I already had before and what all the new harmonics and things that the plugin is doing. I can kind of use that slider until I like how it sounds. All right, so then we added the standard clip, which is doing something more of on a it's similar to what Knock may be doing internally, but it is what I'm using it for right here is that in standard clip and soft clip pro mode, whatever this red line is, it is beginning to limit and add harmonics to the content from, so this right here says negative 1.9. So let's just say negative 2 dB. So anything from negative 2 dBs all the way down to its same value. So negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. So anything from negative 4 and up is getting clipped, but it's a curve to it. So I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but this is something that's just adding some more character. But there is a science behind what this soft clip pro mode is doing in comparison to the classic, in comparison to hard clip, and so on and so forth. So this soft clip pro mode is reliant on this clip line, and it measures double whatever I put it at. So if it's -1, that means it's going to start clipping from -2 upward. So if I put it down to -6, anything from -12 up will start to be clipped. So I'll put it at -1.9. So everything from -3.8 will be clipped. This is moving that. You see, it's also moving that red line. All right, so let's play it. And you get a visual representation here on what I'm actually clipping. Just that little tip, the clips of the wave file. And you see visually, you'll see visually that it's barely going over the line. But remember, the processing starts a little bit under that line. Cool. So again, I don't want to confuse you with the advanced terminology of that particular method, but that's what it was doing. You can kind of hear subtly the difference. Now this limiter, the L1 has a unique sound to what it's doing that I would never personally use it on a master, but on percussion, bass, or whenever I'm trying to just limit a track or individual instrument, it does have this thickness that comes from their limiter. And I'm doing very, very, very minute limiting. This is more so just to keep myself from having or from going over 0 going into the percussion bus. That's really all this is for me. So let's take a listen. And you hear that thick sound that is generated from the distortion that the L1 limiter causes once it begins limiting. There's just this thickness that comes from it. You can kind of hear the tone change. Cool, so that's in solo. I do have it sent to the sub. Let's mute and unmute what that sounds like. Just some more weight. Cool, so we back in the mix. And we see my beat is slamming right now. That's fine for now, because for now I have forget the word. I have this fader here that controls the volume going to the mix bus. So it could be busting through the speakers coming out the beat bus. But here again, if I just solo the beat, the mix is still not clipping, right? And I'm going to eventually deal with the beat itself coming hot as it is over the process of mixing all of these instruments. But for right now, I see that it is really loud, but it's okay, because we're going to eventually get to a more manageable volume. Now, what just happened? I thought I put it in a folder, but I guess it, oh, okay, I do. I see the folder. So the folder I'm making drum set was supposed to actually just only be for, okay, hold on. Yeah, it's supposed to be for, why is it moving everything? Oh, because all of this somehow got into the drum set. All right, so let me just fix this. For some reason, all my instruments went into the drum set, and that's clearly not what my intentions was. And so we got to move them out of that folder. And put them in a whole different folder. All right, so we moved them out of that folder, and now I just got to move the drum set folder into the drum set and into the percussion folder. So it's different for me because I'm having my drums being routed to the drum set folder without the kick. I just like to leave the kick by itself as far as processing and how it's sent to the percussion folder. And so, but everything else can go into a drum set because I'm going to treat it as a set when it comes down to percussion, and, compression and stuff like that. I may do some individual treatment, sure, but I do want to control it on the bus level, and that's how we're gonna do it under drum set. Right, and so I gotta change some routing because some stuff got kind of screwed up when I had made the original drum set. Okay, why is it not collapsing? Because you gotta go in the drum set folder. Cool. And so this needs to go to percussion. And I'm just going to spot check, make sure nothing else was messed up. So the kit goes to percussion, the drum set is going to percussion, and percussion is going to the beat. The beat's going to the mix. Cool. So we set up right. Always check your routing, especially when things get a little confusing in your mix. All right, so I got my drum set over here, and I'm going to kind of go through different elements of this drum set and start tweaking. I'm gonna start with the snare. Okay. Cool. And so I know I'll also keep in mind that I know that I'm going to add effects on the beat, some parts of the beat as well. I may be adding some form of reverb on the drum set as a whole. I may be adding some saturation to the guitar. So when I go through this process, I'm keeping in mind like, okay, I still got things that I would like to add. And so I try not to overkill what I'm doing because I know that I'm going to want to do things later and it starts to sound over processed quick if you start doing all of what I plan on doing and having a lot of processing already going. So like though you see many plugins on this kick, right? Up to 6 inserts, it's not a lot of processing. There is 2 EQ cuts, there's about 2 to 3 dBs of compression. There's, you know, I think the EQ and knock probably were the two most processed parts of that because I had boosted 5 dBs in 60 hertz, and then knock I had did all that extra stuff. Standard clip is not doing a lot, and the limiter is not doing a lot. So just keep in mind you can have a lot of plugins on your chain and still not be doing a lot. You could have one plugin on your chain and be doing too much. All right, so let's continue with this drum set. All right, so I'm gonna actually do one more thing with this hi-hat, and then I'm gonna go over the hi-hat and the snare. All right, so that's the original sound. Start with the snare. Dipped out 168. Let's hear it. It's like a, yeah, that sound, a sound. I lifted up everything from 470. Only about a dB, just to kind of lift it up and give it more energy. That's it. Just because higher frequencies equate to more energy, but I just wanted it, the snare, to just have a little bit more energy, and the smack attack really did some heavy lifting. It added that smack. I might change my sustain down just a little. And then knock. I added air this time. And I saturated with a little punch. Hi-hat. I did something different, but it's cool. I put around 500 to the sides, boosted it a little bit. In the mids from 4K on this curve, I boosted a little bit. And then I added this plugin which deals with the stereo field. So Panner 1 is set to trigger back and forth between the ears without having to loop around. It just actually goes A, B, A, B, A, B, and whatever set time base it's set for, which is right now a half a beat. And then the other panner is set to actually circle. The orange one is set to circle around the ears at a half a beat with a certain amount of depth and a certain amount of width that you could set. Also with some saturation, some drive, and some EQs, etc. With a little mix, 70% mixed in gives you this. This is bypass. And I really wanted it to be more off to the sides as something that you could hear, but just more so feel than hear. I actually want to bring this ratio down a little bit on the mix because it was about right there. I want to pull it on the other side and really just only have a little bit of that effect going on. Saturday night, just added saturation. I cranked the saturation to gentle saturation, but I cranked it to almost 100%. I'm giving it quite a bit of compression as well. I'm boosting the treble and I'm mixing it in around 30-something, 40%. So bypass it. Smack attack. my idea for smack attack, I want to change the attack a little bit. My idea for the smack attack was to add more attack and reduce the sustain to where it's and not the when you have high sustain, it releases slower, gives you more decay, and I don't want the hi-hats to be like that. I want the hi-hats to be very pokey. So I increase the attack, reduces the sustain, and there you go. For the MV2, I brought that in primarily just to hold a certain level of dynamics, because the hi-hats were loud, they were hitting hard, but they still could barely be heard in the whole mix. And it's eating up headroom, but it's hardly being heard. So with the MV2, I'm just bringing up the low level compression to where it's giving it some compression without changing the peak level, and then I'm reducing the overall output down, so I give myself headroom from the hi-hats hitting the ceiling. So let's just take a look at what it's doing. So that's bypass. So what you see here is that it's getting about 6 to 3 or 3 to 6 decibels of upward compression. And then I think it's getting about 2 or 3 dBs of actual compression on this right side. And then obviously you just change the output. And so that was that for those two instruments. Let's take a listen one more time. I'm putting a high pass on this specifically because we already have some low end content from the kick, from the bass, from the sub aux. This low end doesn't sound good, so I'm probably going to roll off some. I'm probably going to reduce the dynamics of the low end from this particular loop, and we're going to see how, by subtraction, we may be able to add some feeling back and some thump back into the low end, because it's not being eaten up by an unpleasant sounding low end. So let's take a listen. I don't know if y'all could, let's see, percussion drums, because I'm not seeing. Yeah, okay, never mind. Drum set. I'm like, I'm not seeing the meters over here. All right. Literally just didn't do any type of EQs or anything for the cymbal roll. I really like how the cymbal roll sound already by itself. Just adding a little extra reverb to it to give it just this feel. And that's it on this cymbal roll. This one I'm gonna just give it something similar, but since it's so short and pokey, I'm going to actually transient. So here in the plugin, I'm gonna increase the attack of that particular cymbal and give it less reverb. Want to see them together? Cool. All right, so Alright, so for something like that, that's an effect. I'm not gonna do nothing too major. Just literally throw a compressor on it. I'm actually liking that MV2 for this to control both low and high dynamics. And I'm gonna just play it. It's a build up. So cool. Let's take a listen to what we got so far with our drum set. And then, you know we still got other instrument groups on this mix that it seems like I probably may be able to get to another one. And then we're going to have to just come back to this session another time. All right, so let's take a listen. I am going to split it into mono, which just actually gave me some duplicates. And I guess I can leave this one wide since I got some other mono stuff to deal with. So let me move this one this way. I'm gonna copy over these EQs. I wanted to split it to mono just so I can have a mono version. I may not even use this one yet. Not sure, but this one, now that it's in mono, I can kind of direct the fit where I want it to fit specifically. And we're just gonna have it pan slightly to the left, but it's not like, it's not a full pan, but it's also not in the center either, so let's take a look at what's going on with this guitar now that it's panned slightly left. I get lost, so I need to be sure I get it brought up. I'm gonna probably use these as parallels, at least this one for sure, to just get it, like, to bring up the presence of it in the mix. But for now, I am going to tighten it up slightly with a little compression. And I'm actually just use the R compressor, something real basic and simple for this. So now, do you hear how I haven't done anything with parallels yet, but just even paralleling the saturation on Saturn to it, just I'm a bypass and just listen for that guitar when it's bypassed right now, and you're gonna be searching, you're gonna be trying to reach for it because it's hard to detect. It's in there. Now unbypassed. That it's like the finger flicks sound more pronounced. Like you hear the plucking almost. And that was created just one, I had tightened it up. Just kind of like it's if you see how the wave file is through Pro Q3, there's no dynamics to it already, so I really didn't have to compress it down. I just wanted to really even it out. Like I just really wanted it to kind of be tight where it wasn't floating, all over the place. After I've reduced down some of the annoying frequencies. So I just wanted to even that out. And which is, like I say, it's not super necessary. If I bypass that, it just brings it more in your face. That's really all it's doing with the 5 to 6 dBs of compression that is giving it, with a super fast attack and a super fast release. It's really just bringing it more. It's closing the dynamic gap even more, which is bringing it in your face even more. And that's what you generally have to do when you have a element of your mix that is just competing and fighting and can't like shine through at all. You have to reduce the dynamics. because it's just really, really hard to perceive that instrument. Now, if it's an instrument that you're okay with not being shining through, let it have dynamics amongst the dense mix, because it adds the feel, it adds whatever you intend for it to add. But if you do want, in my case, I need this acoustic to shine throughout the mix, I got to reduce the dynamics, even if it doesn't look dynamic. You know what I mean? So it's just about feel. You see, when I did that, it just kind of brought it all back to where it was audible. All right. So now, even further out on the same side, I'm going to bring this into a parallel state where I pretty much do the same stuff. I'm just going to find me a different amp to use. I'm just going to find a different amp and cipher through these. I might even do a different EQ. Let's just see. Let's go. And I'm going to use this in true parallel fashion. It is low because I know it's gonna be irritating as I crush it with this compressor. All right, so let's go. So I don't think I really went over these too much, but I did for the most part. I chose a guitar amp for this parallel. For this one, I crushed it with the distressor, or a version of the distressor, and I used the JJP guitar for the electric, and that was a huge difference, as we heard. Let's take a listen again to what happened with this electric guitar. So that was the original sound. And you'll see all of these knobs from left to right. The main volume, the edginess, the warmth, the sustain of like your plucks, whether you want a doubler, whether you want reverb, your attack, the presence, and the overall output master volume. Here, compression settings, your high and low cutoffs in a way, and then the input level coming into the plugin. So let's see what it did. Just brought kind of everything up a little bit, and then I panned it to the opposite side of the other guitars within this set here. All the acoustics were kind of either slightly left, slightly left, or all the way left, and then the electric was primarily right. Cool. So let's take a listen now at where we at after the guitars. And like I said, I am going to address the issue of the beat peaking too hot once I get through mixing all the individual buses, because then where it meets at the beat bus, I can actually go ahead and just either turn the fader down there, add a trim plug in there. I can do things to just kind of reduce the overall volume. That's why I'm not bothered right now by seeing that it's hot, because I know that right now I want to hear it in full scale. I want to hear how everything sounds at a pretty loud level, and then we can kind of manage the headroom and give ourselves space to bring everything up later. So let's go into, I guess, the synths, and I don't know, let's see, I gotta see when I got started, because I want to be sure I adhere to the time today. So we still got about half hour. Okay, so we at least getting through to where we can, when we revisit this, I could say that we will be not wrapping it up, but we will certainly be addressing getting everything glued together, because right now it's sound good, it's coming along, but everything will be kind of meshed together, similar to when you cooking. You have all these ingredients that individually need treatment individually, and then they eventually need to come together to make the meal, and each dish complements the taste of the next. So that's what we're doing here, is kind of just cooking. So let me cook. All right, synths. Okay, so yeah, these don't have a folder because they were bounced out already. So it's just all the synths, which is easier to deal with since we did that last week. So at least start with an EQ, which I think we already used one before, but never could be too safe. Let's do it. right, so I'm gonna deal with these beats effects later, and more so since I have most of everything that's big and loud in my mix for the music. I am going to deal with this beat bus and get it to a more reasonable level coming in to the mix bus. Because right now I gave myself about 6.5 dBs of headroom, and I'm using it all up. Let's see. Literally peaking at 6.5. So I'm gonna take the NLS bus because I don't necessarily feel like going and readjusting every single bus and fader. So I'm just kind of using this to reduce everything at once. You're not going to see the faders move together, but essentially it's doing the exact same thing, because if I trim this down 7.3 dBs, it's literally pulling down those faders, all of them, equally to come and give you the same volume. So I'm not going to use any drive or anything yet, or care about what particular model of the NLS bus I'm using. I'm just using it as a trim. Now, I'd like to use it because if I choose to add some drive or change the harmonic content, I can, unlike just a standard trim plugin. So it leaves me that option if need be. So now let's take a listen. So I can increase this. So prior to this, I had always left myself about 6 dBs of headroom by using this fader, reducing it down because that's the volume for the entire mix. And I had used it all up on the beat bus, right? But now that I'm trying to balance everything out before going into dealing with any mix bus processing or gluing anything together, now I want that to be at 0 generally. But I leave myself another 3 dBs of headroom just so I can be sure that I'm not clipping. But the idea is to eventually have the mix volume over here be sitting at 0. But if it ultimately is pulled down, it's cool. It's just a guide. And so now let's see what our beat bus is peaking at. Cool. So I actually gonna bag off on the trim just a little. I do want it to be a little bit louder. I also like to take a look at this relationship between, and I'm gonna change the color just because it's a little close for me. I always like to take the relationship, look at the relationship between, you always want to hear it. I know I'm not gonna cliche you to death, but the point is that sometimes you do want to look at your meters and kind of get a reference and gauge of what the meters are doing in relationship to other meters. So here, once I'm not really here yet where I'm collapsing all my folders and I'm just looking at the beat and I'm just looking at the vocals and then I start marrying them together, haven't quite made it there, but I will look at this relationship because this will show you, visually how close you are to the dynamics of the beat and the vocals. Obviously, listen, but let's take a look. So there was a moment there with the Vox that I know, based on looking at the bus meter, it had got way too loud in comparison to the beat. So that's, again, a good way to reference. That lets me know, oh, okay, in this moment, I need to manage. Maybe there's 5, 6 different stacks at the same time happening at the same time that led to the Vox to be as loud as it did. So let's look again and look at how it peaks way higher than the beat at some point. See, in this moment, we're good. We're sitting at a good level. It's when wherever I'm first starting this vocal, let me see if we can come in before she performs, if it'll make a difference. Reset my peaks. Nope, clear and easy to hear now that the beat got reduced, that I'm gonna have to be doing some adjusting to the verse lead because it did get a little loud. So let's take care of that.
Just give in, there's no getting away from me. Such a perfect night, set into my life. Take my hand, there's nothing you can say to me. When you hear my voice, then you have no choice. Just give in, there's no getting away from me. Such a perfect night, set into my life. Take my hand, there's nothing you can say to me. When you hear my voice, then you have no choice. I cross my heart. Just give in, there's no getting away from me. Such a perfect night, set into my life. Take my hand, there's nothing you can say to me. When you hear my voice, then you have no choice. I cross my heart.
And so that kind of shows you that even though we go through that process of balancing and staging, you do it over and over and over and over throughout the mix as you adjust things. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Just getting the vibe back exactly how I want it. And let's figure it out.
Just give in, there's no getting away from me. Such a perfect night, set into my life. Take my hand, there's nothing you can say to me. When you Just give in, there's no getting away from me. Such a perfect night, 7 to my lies. Take my hand, there's nothing you can say to me. When you hear my voice, then you have no choice. I cross my heart, I tell no lies. I see your future in my eyes. I promise you a love so deep. You'll hear me calling in your sleep. Who needs to breathe the air away when we're both drowning in my love? The tides have turned, don't be afraid. You're not the only soul I save. Just give in, there's no getting away from me. Such a perfect night, 7 to my lies. Take my hand, there's nothing you can say to me. When you hear my voice, then you have no choice. I cross my heart, I tell no lies. I see your future in my eyes. I promise you a love so deep. You'll hear me calling in your sleep. Who needs to breathe the air away when we're both drowning in my love? The tides have turned, don't be afraid. You're not the only soul I save.
One more time.
Just give in, there's no getting away from me. Such a perfect night, 7 to my lies. Take my hand, there's nothing you can say to me. When you hear my voice, then you have no choice. I cross my heart, I tell no lies. I see your future.
Cool. I was just trying to get the blend right. Where the I'm big on transitions from verse to hook. When you have giant peaks or volume differences and stuff like that, it bothers me when things don't just sound like they transition smoothly or naturally. Which is something which is like we're big on here at the Mix Squad, which is attention to detail. Where like it's just small little things here and there that unchecked and let go eventually leads to an unprofessional sound. And that's usually, if you're out there trying to like really get that professional sound, it's probably a few small details that you just need to really work on to get that sound that you're looking for. It's usually not anything extravagant that you're missing. It's just the difference between Kobe staying at the gym shooting 100 extra shots after a game compared to me going to LA Fitness and trying to hoop. Like, he do it on a professional level, and that's the difference. When you do this on a professional level, you have to be a stickler for details. So all right, got about 10 minutes or less. I'm gonna go ahead and do a few more things before we wrap it up. for the evening. And I'm not saying what I'm saying because I'm perfect, because this is subjective. Like the art of mixing and getting things mixed for people is really subjective. However, the difference between those who are professional and those who not generally comes down to the details and the small nuances, and obviously their ability to hear. All right, so I am going to take a random bus from my vocals. I'm going to bring up a plugin called Track Spacer that's just going to help me make space for my vocals to have space here in this mix. From probably around the 250 hertz range all the way to about 9-10K. We're going to start at 5% and work our way through. Also, if you have this, go to the advanced panel. And when I do this, I actually deal with mid side. The attack, that's like 5 milliseconds is not a slow attack, but for this plugin, it it's not technically slow, but we don't really want it to grab it extremely fast either. Like we want it to sound, like we want the music to sound naturally coming in and out of a few dBs difference. We don't want it to sound like a commercial or a voiceover. We don't want it to sound like a voiceover where the music just cuts out as the person begins to speak. But we're gonna try these different settings, see what works best. Obviously connect the side chain. I believe it was bus 2. And let's go. So if I crank it, this is what we get.
I tell no lies. I see your future in my eyes. I promise you a love so deep. You'll hear me calling in your sleep. Who needs to breathe the air above when we're both drowning in my love? The tides have turned. Don't be afraid. You're not the only soul I say.
I'm about to do some gluing right now on these vocals, all of the vocals. Right now, what we hear is what's being compressed.
I see your future in my eyes. I promise you a love so deep. You hear me calling in your sleep. Who needs to breathe the air above when we're both drowning in my love? The tides have turned. Don't be afraid. You're not the only soul I see.
And so I'll just explain what this kind of did, and then we'll wrap it up for the evening. Yeah, so you take this plug in, or you gotta join the squad to get like the exact type of compressors that are specifically for gluing and why they're used for gluing, as far as the components and what they're modeled after and the purpose, the transistors, the resistors, the tubes, the transformers, all of that information. You got to join the squad. But just know that in regards to gluing, is typically either dealing with RMS, okay, or it's dealing with a relatively slow, medium to slow attack and medium to slow release time, because you're not trying to make, if those are slow, if the attack is slow, it's going to gradually catch and drag down the gain, and it's going to gradually come back into unity if it's a slow release. And then the ratio is relatively low, so you're not getting like 2 dBs per dB of compression. You're getting, right now I'm getting 1.4, right? So not even 1.5. So this is compressing as we watch. No more than about 1.5 dB of actual compression, and it's gradual and slow, and it kind of never really seems like it's really compressing anything, and that is actually why it's glue, because it's gradual. That's, whenever you hear the word glue, understand that someone is referring to, there's a gradual compression that is happening. Now, there's also character that people use as far as other plugins. This doesn't really add much character. There are plugins where they'll use the term glue because it adds character, but the real reason they're saying glue is because the relationship of the attack and release time of the compressor is generally set to be relatively medium to slow. I'm sure you can change those parameters, but that's the idea. So that's where we're going to leave off here. Hopefully next time we go into this, not sure if it will be next Thursday, but when we get back into this mix, we will now start getting into, obviously, the few other tracks that I haven't touched. I believe there was a beat effects and also voice effects. So we have voice effects here, which these three tracks I have not touched, and beat effects, this folder of tracks I have not touched. So we have quite a few tracks to just kind of get in and fit into the overall mix, and then we can go into mix bus processing and then straight into mastering. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing this screen. I'm gonna actually change my my audio settings so I can not hear myself like I always tell y'all. And Kiana, real quick before we get up out of here. Oh, and audio manipulator. I gotta holler at my peoples.
I think audio manipulator is busy right now.
Got you. All good. All good. How you hanging in at the Falcons pick?
They did, and then they did something surprising
What
and
they
traded
do?
back into the first round to get another defensive edge rusher.
Who was the 2 picks?
They got Walker from Georgia and Pierce from Tennessee.
Ooh. No, there's some dogs like Jalen Walker. He's supposed to be like they say he could have been a top pick if it just wasn't for his mismatch of like not knowing where he gonna play because he's a hybrid type of dude. And then you said James Pierce. They would like whenever someone say that your issue is you'll want to like they said that about Myles Garrett. Like oh he got other interests in life. Like so what? He still can run a 4-4 and tackle Negroes. So I think y'all got some dogs.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I didn't think they was gonna get back in the first round.
I was hoping they could have made a deal with us. I want to go back, man. Trade back. I ain't want to trade and get no tight end, but I ain't gonna bore y'all out there with draft talk, man. We just passionate fans about our team. Kiana root for them Falcons, them dirty birds. I'll be rooting for the Chicago Bears. Don't do me. We changed. We turning it around. You understand? We turning it around. But and my man audio manipulator, Cowboys fan. You know, so we all over the map here, and we like to have fun and kind of keep things. We understand mixing is not like the end all be all of everything that we do and incorporate in our life. We just good at it, but we have obviously many interests and various things that we be into, whether it's TV shows, whether it's sports. I got to get into this NBA playoffs because I haven't really even tapped into that yet. I know that I believe the Rockets and the Golden State tied or something like that, but I haven't really watched too many games, so got some things to catch up on. But tried to stay to the schedule. I'm kind of making sure I stay looking at the clock. Any comments or anything that you wanted to point out that I know when you be watching it and stuff, you kind of be having some things that come up in your mind as you watch?
Nothing in particular that I want to point out. It's just like always, I like to see how other engineers process certain instruments and how they go about getting to the end result of the mix, because in my mind as you mix I'm like, okay, this is what I would have did here, just to see. We have different techniques but the end result is usually the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I just
and like the same but extremely different. Like a mix that we'll both get will sound sonically different but still pleasing, if that makes sense.
right.
Like they'll have our own unique tastes and touches of frequencies that we didn't like, or certain things that we did to get the sound we got, but generally speaking, they're not bad mixes, neither one of them. And it really at some point comes down to like people liking the way your opinion of your taste.
Right.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm getting through this one had a lot of tracks. If we could remember last week, I think we started off with damn near 60 tracks. And so we getting through it. We getting through it. So, but yeah, outside of that, man, y'all know what to do. If you want to get in touch with us, if you would like to have your music reviewed, hit the Mix Squad up, whether it's DM, whether it's Messenger, whether it's a comment on YouTube, whether it is going to our website, themixsquad.com. Be sure that you take advantage of us while we have the opportunity to kind of, get to it. There may be times in the future here, especially over the summer, where we may not be available to be as active with the community in regards to like being able to submit your song and then you will get a reply back as far as feedback, or have your song be showcased live as we do feedback or kind of go over the mix or whatever, there will be a time in which it will be very hard to get your mix on the platform because we're growing, right? We are growing and we're expanding. And at some point in time, our time is going to be limited specifically for the members. And so this is a great opportunity for you to get ahead of the curve and get some professional ears on your music. In addition to that, we will be having a review show that will be coming up at some point in time where we want to build that library so we can have music to play for the audience. And you want to be able to have people hear your stuff. So go ahead. Don't be shy. Don't be ashamed. Let us hear it. Let us give you professional feedback and be willing to accept the feedback. That's a part of the issue with the ego, is that we put so much effort and work into the things that we do that we don't really want to hear what other people have to say. And that is a part of what holds a lot of engineers and artists back from the greatness that they actually can possess, is them not wanting to really listen to the advice of others, or feel like people are hating on them, or feel like people are talking down upon them. And in a lot of ways, that's true. And in a lot of ways, it's simply because we, are just professionals at what we do. And we're hearing certain things that you may not hear yet. I had to deal with it. I had to learn how to suppress my ego, because I did put a lot of time into mixing and submitting my mixes for reviews, and was proud of my stuff, and it wasn't good. And I had to go through that. You have to go through the pains of trying hard and failing, because that is literally how you consistently get better at your craft. Is you have to have moments where you're humbled. So be humble, get humbled, and get your mixes to the Mix Squad. We got anything else?
Sure.
For that humble pie.
What's that?
Make sure you tap in with the Mix Squad. Go to the website, themixsquad.com, to submit for our music review show. It's under the tab Hit or Mix. Make sure you do that. If you are interested in sending a mix to us to possibly be mixed live on air, hit us up at mixsquadinc@gmail.com, and we can discuss the possibilities.
Absolutely.
Go get some beats. You know what I'm saying? Put that slap on y'all list, man. Go record a nice song and send it on over. Right.
If you're working on a project and you're looking for beats, and we do have a beat store also on the website. It's something for everybody, to be honest. So just take advantage of what we have to offer. Look around and see. Maybe it might not be right now you interested, but if you got a project you plan to do in the future, just put us down, bookmark us, so that you can come back. We always putting something new on the website, so continue to keep checking in.
Get that Don't Discriminate package, man.
Whatever that is. But go to themixsquad.com. What's the Don't Discriminate package? That's a new package we put out there.
Must be a package he putting together right now.
For sure. Well, man, we are gonna be out of here. We're gonna be more diligent with our time and be sure that we give you that 2 hours. We a little over, but not as over as last week. We was in this boy about 3.5 hours with y'all. We're gonna see y'all next Thursday. But before Thursday, we will have a special guest this Sunday for our Sunday spotlight. D Dilts, correct?
Yes. Speaking of that, if you are an independent artist, producer, content creator, mix engineer, if you would like to be a part of the Sunday Spotlight, please send us a comment, a DM, or hit us up on Instagram. You can send us an email, and we could try and set that up. So if you are interested in being featured on our Sunday Spotlight, please get in touch with us.
Because booking is getting full.
All right, y'all. Well, we about to get out of here, and we will see y'all on Sunday. And I gotta figure out like an outro, like to say, you know what I'm saying? I gotta figure out something to like, you know, peace out with y'all with, because
As
I just
always, join the squad.
join the squad. Join the squad. All right, y'all. Let's get out of here.
Did it again, Alex. Give me more. Okay, cash at hand. That's the motto, that's the plan. Got a whole lot of loot. Check my status, that's the brand. Boy, stop playing. Money so long, broke them rubber bands in the jam. I'll be damned if I fuck with Uncle Sam. I'll be spazzing on the beat. I go thermal on them niggas. I'm absorbing all the heat. Oh, salty ass niggas be thinking that it's sweet. Oh, dusty ass niggas in the presence of the league. Salute. Yeah, we looking for recruits. Join the squad, get you open, corner 3, 2, 1, shoot. Don't be scared, come prepared, and we keep you in the loop. Get you square.